We know Nintendo is starting a campaign to establish a presence in pop culture in the way Disney has. They want a true media empire, including in the TV market with TV shows and movies. Looking specifically at potential shows, I'd like to share a list of IPs I think could thrive, and some premises they could be based on. Given the lonely isolation of the games, Metroid sounds like a difficult series to adapt into a compelling series. Samus can't just talk to herself, but watching someone wander silently through a cave in a non-emoting suit of armor wouldn't be a series with staying power. The show doesn't have to follow Samus or any games though. Metroid has a big universe. One strong premise would be to follow a Federation unit in their missions to combat the space pirates as Samus is off elsewhere hunting bounties. Maybe one of the starring soldiers looks up to or idolizes Samus a great deal and dreams of coming to her aid. Maybe another is a bit jealous or struggles with inadequacy, but has to cope when their missions do occasionally cross paths with Samus or other hunters. Maybe the series takes place after the game-changing Metroid fusion, and the Federation has to get serious because Samus isn't quite as capable as she used to be, but the pirates are stronger than ever. So they have to eventually come to terms with the fact neither of them can stop the pirates alone, and find common ground. Another premise would be to take the Smallville route, and focus on the origin story of Samus and Mother Brain, opening with the Chozo visiting Samus's colony before Ridley descends and lays everything to waste, forcing the Chozo to rescue Samus. Several years later, the show begins following Samus as she trains with the Chozo, and the newly constructed Chozo creation Mother Brain. Over the course of the series, she becomes stronger, and occasionally engages in dangerous pirate conflicts against the Chozo's wishes, and learns of Mother Brain's plans to betray the Chozo. The series, or at least the first major arc, culminating as Samus fights and temporarily disables Mother Brain, before leaving Zebes to join the Federation, only to learn Mother Brain was faking defeat and has slaughtered the Chozo on Zebes, and with the help of Ridley and the pirates is scouring the galaxy to eliminate the rest of the Chozo, leading the last remnants to flee and go into hiding. Still not quite an adult, Samus realizes her training is not over, and that she needs to guarantee she is never again so naive. A tight, serialized series. At least, that is the overarching plot I'd go with if I was writing a Metroid TV show. This is one that would probably work better as a movie or potentially a series of movies. Chibi-robo is a series following a tiny robot helping people, aliens, and inanimate objects go about their lives, and fighting robot spiders. It wouldn't be for everybody, but they made a damn Animal Crossing movie, and it was actually okay. Not great, but it was okay. I could see them starting safe and loosely adapting the original Chibi-robo, and then expanding into original stories. Maybe Chibi-robo goes to France with a few of his breakout friends in one movie, and helps the French to find his way home. They could pretty much keep making new things, having Chibi-robo in new locations and solving new problems like death, divorce, bigotry, murder, infidelity, and so on, in cute little stories. And I probably would watch some of them. Mario was another IP that sounds difficult to execute well, and would likely be something that wouldn't be as complex and deep as Metroid, or any other IP. Given Mario's family-friendly reputation, young children would realistically be the target audience of a Mario TV show, but it could still be unoffensive and mildly entertaining to older viewers. One possibility would be to focus on Wario and his friends in Diamond City, a pretty standard slice-of-life comedy children's cartoon. Wario or one of his friends get into hijinks, and eventually learn a lesson they won't take to heart. If done very carefully and deliberately, it could not be super offensive to anybody older than 10. A more all-ages option would be to focus on Captain Toad and Toadette, having adventures and interacting with the core Mario characters like Luigi and Bowser from time to time. It might even be mildly serialized. One final idea would be Yoshi's Story, the series, a cartoon following a number of cute Yoshis doing cute things and occasionally getting antagonized by Baby Bowser or Kamek. No dialogue, just Yoshi noises and expressive characters. It's not a secret how huge of a fan I am of custom robo. Having hundreds of parts with different attributes, patterns, and behavior makes for an extremely compelling gameplay. Custom robo could be huge, but it lies forgotten. An animated series accompanying a new game could make it a big thing. The Pokemon cartoon and other toy cartoons launched major brands, sometimes with nothing besides a cartoon tie-in going for them. Follow the random tournament story archetype for such series and Nintendo could have a renewed IP and one of the better tie-in animes. Zelda is a franchise that has many of the same issues as Metroid. The main character is a boy of little words who often travels alone. Even with expressive characters like Toon Link, it's a hard sell to have extended periods with just Link. And simplifying the episodes could cheapen the character, turning many off. But Link doesn't have to be the star. Sure, heavily streamlining various games like Pokemon Origins could work. But there are also parts of the timeline we aren't going to see in a traditional Zelda game. A TV series could flesh out periods like after Link dies in Ocarina of Time, or the events preceding Wind Waker, and follow the King, Zelda and Knights, and Ganon as they struggle without Link. Even taking place much closer to the beginning of a game could allow the show creative freedom while allowing Link to figure into the story. While Fire Emblem has a lot of lore that could be explored, it could also easily follow a game and do well as an ensemble political drama. Will the Lord send the woman he loves into a very dangerous fight, or insist she stay where it is safe? Will the writers play up Crom Sumia, only to have her die protecting him, leaving Olivia to pick up the pieces of his broken heart? No viewer will know which characters will survive and which will die. Much like Fire Emblem, there's plenty of lore a series could cover. Why was alchemy sealed? What happened after alchemy was released, but before the heroes had children? Why were the alchemy machines made? What the hell happens after Dark Dawn's cliffhanger? A series could also follow the games easily and focus on showing a more spectacular perspective than the GBA could, and it would be incredible. I know there's a long-running Pokemon cartoon, but Pokemon is a big franchise and there are other possible premises. A series or even a movie about just Pokemon Rangers protecting and calming Pokemon could work. You would also have a solid series if a boy or girl woke up as a Pokemon, and a series looked a mystery dungeon. It could work as a series or a movie. As an open-world RPG, adapting the game is a terrible idea. Exploring the cosmic conflict and Elma's business on Earth is a great idea. Another great idea is following another ship, its crew, their struggles, and their fate. It would be an extremely mature, strong sci-fi show. Kid Icarus got several anime shorts, and many love those shorts. It is almost a no-brainer to give some studios some freedom to expand them into an episodic series, especially given how apathetic Nintendo is to the IP, allowing Sakurai to play with it, but not pushing for a fourth game. While fans wait until Sakurai maybe decides to do another one, an anime studio could be continuing Pit's adventures with various serialized arcs. I tried to exclude franchises that currently have a series or have had a series, with the exception of things like Pokemon, and things like Mario and Zelda where most would like to forget the cartoons and movies. But what IPs or subjects would you like to see become a series or movie? You know, I'm kinda bummed. If Nintendo made a bunch of series back in the 90s or 2000s when cable TV was relevant, we could have gotten a Nintendo channel, besides the thing on the Wii. Anyway, the comment highlight is from Son of Man in regards to what he wants from the next open-world Zelda game. A sequel to Spirit Tracks in the Breath of the Wild engine would be the best. A new continent that takes away gimmicks and tropes that Zelda's relied on, like the Triforce, Master Swords, and of course Old Hyrule. Imagine the possibilities from this new continent, both exploration and story-wise. Unexplored timeline that has so much potential. I still want the Minish and size changing, but that is a good idea. I replied about potentially being able to get hit by trains if you travel on the tracks. I really like that idea. I might actually make a full video and talk about the ideas your idea gave me. Though, maybe not, because I'd have to do a lot of drawing and get them on my computer. Maybe if I collab with a good artist.